Hello, my name is Amanda Wise. Today is Monday, June 20th, 2005, and I am with Frances Kelly, and we are going to discuss her remembrance of World War II. Frances, how are you today?
I feel good.
You feel good today?
Thank you.
And Frances, can you tell me where you were born?
I was born in a tiny town in Virginia in the Shenandoah Valley by the name of Grotto. I was born in 1921.
And do you remember what you were doing whenever the war
yes.
was going on? Like what types of...
Oh, sure. In 1939-40, I entered nursing school in Washington, D.C. And in those days, they had a 3-year program called a diploma program. You would take 3 years in the nursing school and graduate with a registered nurse certificate.
Okay.
And at this particular hospital, it was called Washington, in those days it was called Gallinger, then it changed its name later to Washington, D.C. General. But it was a big city hospital, and there you could go in as a nursing student, and they would pay for your uniforms, your nursing uniforms.
Okay.
And you had a room, private room, little, small but adequate, a room and your 3 meals a day, and you got $13.65 a month, which was wonderful. You could buy your toothpaste and your white shoe polish and things like that.
Okay.
So that's what I was doing.
Okay, and then what was your involvement with the war once it had started?
Well, you know, of course, I became a Navy nurse. But prior to that, the first time I ever knew that there was trouble in the world, I was reared by my grandmother later in Charlottesville. Earlier in Charlottesville, I was a child, and I remember my cousin reading her the newspapers and listening to the news, and Hitler was all the headlines. He was gobbling up one country after another. Right. I remember Granny sitting there shaking her head, just. And of course we gradually got into that war, but I was out in the countryside near Fairfax, Virginia, cutting down Christmas greenery to decorate our gymnasium at the hospital for our Christmas dance. And my Aunt Sadie Bell, wonderful name.
That is a great name.
Met us at the door, and she was weeping, and she said, "The Japanese have attacked Pearl Harbor." And I thought, well, where is Pearl Harbor, and what is she crying about? Well, of course, I soon learned. And then I was graduating from nursing school in 42, and my sister had preceded me in the same school, and she had entered the Navy Nurse Corps. And as soon as I graduated, I went into the Navy. I didn't see much of the world, though. I was only there 8 months because I got married. And in the Navy at that time, you could not be married.
So where were you when were you stationed at whenever you were working?
Philadelphia and then San Diego.
So what did you do after that? Was the war still going on?
Well, my husband was assigned over to the Solomon Islands in the Pacific. In harbor defense, and while he was gone, I had a baby, and he didn't see the baby until the child was 13 months old. Well, 14 months old. He was walking and talking. When I got a little apartment over in it was Sheridan, neighborhood across the town, and a small apartment, and the little boy and I lived there until my husband came home.
As you can see, Mrs. Kelly and I shared a lovely afternoon together. She is a beautiful lady and a wonderful storyteller. I enjoyed listening to her experiences as a Navy nurse during World War II.